What's up, guys? TJP950 here, and today we're going to start our Tarkov 1.0 2025/2026 playthrough. In this playthrough, we're going to do guides on pretty much every quest in the game. We're going to do this on PVE. We're going to basically do a level 1 to 42 guide and then a kappa guide after that along the way. This is going to be mostly just a guide, but for some of the stuff, it's going to be a playthrough. So the first couple episodes of this are actually going to be a playthrough, and then after that, it's going to be more of guides on the quest and little bits of skits of raids as we go as well. But anyway, we're going to get into this. We're going to choose the faction Bear, and we're going to choose probably the most hideous guy that we can. He's pretty hideous looking. And yeah, so we're gonna jump straight into the tutorial, I believe, and we'll see you guys in there.
The Norvensk region has forever changed the moment it was turned into an open economic zone. Both Norvensk and Tarkov became centers of international partnership. One of the most influential corporations on the global stage, Terra Group, has established its regional headquarters in Tarkov. Terra Group scientists promised to bring our world towards the future. Even back then, it was obvious the old world was on its way out. In Tarkov, the corporation was actively acquiring land and absorbed local businesses for the sake of its revolutionary projects. Virtus in scientia. That's what they used to say. Terra Group's influence in the city grew rapidly. It wasn't long before they started showing interest in restricted government facilities. A move that couldn't go unnoticed by domestic security agencies. In order to protect their enterprises, Terra Group hired a foreign PMC, United Security. USEC personnel began blocking access to Terra Group's facilities, and even the government authorities no longer had a full picture of what the corporation was doing within Tarkov's borders. Eventually, a team of investigators was sent to the local headquarters to search the building and compile a report. But the USEC operatives refused to let the law officials through and opened fire. After that incident, a new force appeared in the Norvensk region, PMC Bear. Their main mission was to expose and gather evidence of Terra Group's illegal activities around the world. At first, Bear's operations and their clashes with the USEC forces were limited and isolated, but the tension escalated quickly. It was too risky to fully involve military forces to maintain order due to the region's special status. The UN forces and Russian military blocked all routes in and out of the city, and the UNTAR mission began evacuating civilians. But despite the authorities' statements, the situation in Tarkov was no longer under anyone's control. The conflict between Bear and USEC evolved into an all-out armed conflict. Marauders and bandits, soon nicknamed scabs, only made things worse. For several years, both PMCs fought each other, each carrying out orders from their respective command. Before all this, Tarkov was featured in the world's top financial news. And now it shows up in the combat logs of the contract wars. But it didn't end there. Terra Group's local headquarters became Bear's primary objective, withstanding multiple assault attempts. During one of those raids, something happened. An event that split Tarkov's history into the before and after.
Alright guys, that was the opening cutscene, and now we're going to jump into the tutorial. I figure I'll just throw that in so you guys can see that. Alright, since I'm a pretty experienced Tarkov player, the first thing we're going to do is change the settings on this account, since this is my alt account and I haven't really messed with stuff. So it looks like we have... That doesn't look too bad to start for the post FX. Or sound, it actually looks like we might... Okay, so everything's actually this... Okay, we're actually okay. It saved our settings from our normal account. I have this alt account for, we used to do hardcore Tarkov playthrough. There's an audio recorder here. We hit M, I believe, it'll play that.
Всем выжившим мирам. После взрыва электроника вырубилась. Повторяю, связи нет. Операция отменяется. Отходим к точкам эвакуации сами. Двигаться с соблюдением осторожности. Кодовое слово «вода мокрая».
Alright guys, so in the tutorial there's going to be an MPX right here. I believe they changed this to where everything we loot in here we don't take. So default for me on my controls to fix a malfunction, when the gun is red there's a malfunction. Either you got the wrong bullet in there or the gun has typically jammed because of the durability. For me, I hit Shift L to inspect. It says a misfire, and then Shift T to eject around. B by default will switch your fire mode. We're going to keep it in single fire because we have very select ammo. If you tab to your inventory and you hit right click, you can check magazines by right click and go down to check magazine. You can also do that by right clicking and hitting unload ammo. So see, we only got 5 rounds in this one, so we're going to condense and get a nice full mag. Oh, we just put it in the same mag. Alright, hang on here. My mouse sensitivity feels a little weird here. But after this, we're going to get moving. I don't even know if this stuff's needed, but I'm going to put these in my spec slot and have at least a heal going. Alright, so we're going to move through this tutorial. See, Alt-T will check your mag by default. T is your flashlight. 2 will take you to your main weapon. 1 will take you to your handgun. We're going to have some scavs here. Okay, maybe we need to change our post FX a little bit. We also are playing this on a standard account, so we're going to figure out how to upgrade our stash and all that good stuff as well. We're going to just kind of speed run through this part because I don't, like I said, I don't think we can loot any of this anymore and it carries over. Should be one more. The lead feels a little bit weird. If you double tap O on your keyboard, it'll tell you your extractions and time in the raid in the top right corner. Since this is a tutorial, we only have one extraction. It's pretty straightforward. We literally started here in the building and we're gonna loop around, go through the parking garage, come here. There's gonna be a weapon right here. It's going to blow up a landmine. We are gonna want, well, maybe it won't if we step over here. That's good to know. There's the claymore right there. Now we got an AK-12. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take this sight off of the MPX and put it on the AK-12. So how I did that is I hit tab to go to the inventory and then I double left click onto the gun. It opens this. I'm gonna drag it right over to the AK-12. We've only got one good mag. If you have your full rig, you're gonna drop mags on the ground. So always keep at least one slot open here. This mag is full. We're going to keep it also in single fire to conserve ammo. Okay. So it's going to give us a tutorial on food. There's food here to loot if you didn't grab some at the beginning. Basically same thing. Double left click if you want a quick eat or quick use. Your hydration and energy is at the bottom here. The lightning bolt one's energy, and the water one is your hydration. Double click and hit accept on the 60 if that's what you want, but you can also drag that wheel back and forth for however much you want to use. See, as much as I want to loot that scav because he's got my 3M armor for a quest later, I'm not going to do that. So we got a 3M armor here. In order to drop this, you're going to hit delete on your keyboard. It'll drop that. Take this, and now we've got a level 4. Go down here, double click. Anytime we open this menu, we're double clicking, or we can right click and inspect. If you go down to your plates, that's a level 4 plate on both sides, and this was only a level 2, and this actually doesn't have plates. This is just a soft armor. So level 4 already is better, but this also has a soft armor as well, and then the plates are there as well. And I don't know if you can actually die in the tutorial, to be honest. So we're coming to the end of the tutorial. Like I said, you guys can practice around and loot everything. There's some duffels and stuff in here, but I really don't think any of that matters anymore. At the beginning, it mattered a bit. R is to reload. Pretty standard in most FPSs. Also, if you hit tab and go down here to any of your heals, like if you put them in your chest rig or pockets and you hit a number, it's going to correlate them to that set keybind. So like 5 is my Salua, and as you can tell, I'm healing my left arm because I took damage to my left arm. My health status is always set in the top left corner. But yeah, that is the first raid of the tutorial, and that opens up our quest and tour. So in this guide, I'm going to try to show you guys how to do as much quest as you possibly can and level up as quick as you can. Now in PvE, it's a little bit easier. It's actually a lot easier than the PvP. I actually prefer to play the PvP one, but for the sake of these videos and the guides that we're doing and everything, and the playthrough as well, we're going to be doing it on PvE because I'm going to show you guys basically how you can take a standard account and get a bigger stash and everything as we go. I'm going to be learning a little bit along with you guys because I have a EOD account. I got the game in 2016. I've played Tarkov since pretty much the beginning. Just outside of Alpha is when I started playing in the early beta. So it is like 2017 or so. But yeah. Welcome to the PvE game mode. In this mode, you can experience the full game with persistent PvE, character progression, solo or with friends, without worrying about being attacked by other players in raid. All mechanics are identical to PvP zone game mode. Good luck. So the reason why we do this on the PvE as well is, see, we didn't keep any of that stuff. And we have a standard account, so we really don't have a lot of room here. So we really are going to have to jockey with what we've got to begin with. So one of the first things that you're going to do once you get out of the tutorial raid as a first beginner is you're going to go to your first traders and talk to them. You're only going to have fence, ragman, and therapist. Anytime you click on these traders, anything that you see grayed out, you're going to want to examine. There's 2 ways of doing that for me. The easiest way is by clicking middle mouse button like this. We also get XP for doing this, but another way of doing it, some people like to do this better, is actually right click and hit examine. Scroll down and hit examine with the mouse, or just look down and hit examine. So, all right, we're going to therapist. We're going to visit her. We're going to hit the dialogue, and then we're going to get our first quest set up, and then we're going to get into the guides. You are wearing shoe covers, I hope. Hello, our guys were given your contract in case of emergency. I need to reach the evacuation point at the port. Can you help us with this? So our whole goal in this is to obviously escape from Tarkov, because that's the name of the game. There's going to be a lot of challenges along the way. I'm actually getting ready to do Terminal on my actual account. but I just decided that I wanted to start making guides. Got a lot of time this next year to do stuff, so this is what I wanted to do. You acted wisely in finding me, however, I can't guide you through the entire city. No one in Tarkov has complete control over the territory. What can you help me with, then? I need to know my way around this
Я
place.
знаю людей, которые могли бы показать вам безопасные маршруты в городских кварталах. Но вы должны понимать, что на удержание этих проходов уходит немало ресурсов.
I know people who could show you safe routes in the city blocks. However, you must understand that maintaining these patches consumes significant resources. So I have to pay for info on these routes. How much?
Мы пользуемся этими
We
marшрутами для
updated our
вывода
tour or
гражданских,
updated our tour
поэтому
quest,
не экономим
which
на
is one of the first main
безопасности.
quests that we get. We can use these routes for civilian evacuation, and therefore do not on safety. And I'm just going to give her the 250,000 right now. Actually, on a standard, I don't know if we got that
Вы
much money
можете
yet.
вернуться позже, когда будете
All
готовы.
right, we can return whenever we're ready. We don't need to really ask anything else right now
Буду рада
for.
увидеть вас.
Let's see how much money we've got. We've got 500,000 to start. So first thing we're going to do to clean up our inventory is we're going to stack our backpacks. In order to do that, you got to click open each one of them. We're going to keep this one on. We did get to keep the MPX and the LEDX, which is interesting. We're just going to put them in there, and then we're going to lock these so we don't sell them or delete them on accident. So to do that, you right-click, go down here, and don't hit the disregard. It's going to ask you one more time if you do to delete it, but I'm going to hit the lock button on both of those, and then we're going to go back to Therapist, and she's going to give us our first side quest. First in line, we're going to get into that guide after we unlock this next part. There's going to be two parts to this. There's going to be a playthrough for the story missions, and there's also going to be a guide on each quest line that we're going to do. So in this first part of the tutorial, we're going to unlock both them things, and then there's going to be two parts to the videos. One of them is going to say playthrough, and that's basically when we're going to be meshing certain quests with certain goals in mind for the story missions, and then the guides are going to be just solo walkthroughs of the guides, but you're not going to see the full raids. So we're going to click on visit on Ragman. We're going to go talk to Ragman.
Привет, брат.
Hello, brother. Hello, our guys were told you could help us if there's supply issues.
Обижаешь, Акпер. У барахольщика ты все найдешь, что нужно. Хочешь броники, хочешь реально модный шмот, тебе подберем. Но ты же не просто так зашел, а?
I needed to get to the port, but I don't know the area.
Эвакуироваться собрался, да? Много кто там выйти пытался. Но зашел ты правильно. Я тебя и с нужными людьми сведу, и дорогу покажу. Сделай только кое-что для меня сначала.
Evacuating, huh? Plenty have tried, but you have came the right way. I'll link you with the right people and show you the path. Just do me one little favor first. What do you
В
need?
лесочке рядом с Ультрой.
We've updated our
какой-то
tour
кипиш
again.
начался. Вроде даже техника была.
There's been commotion in the
Короче, надо
forest near the
проверить
Ultra
эти
Mall.
места.
Maybe even
Свои
some
все у
vehicles
меня уже
involved.
заняты
I want that
работой.
place checked out.
Так
My
что ты
crew's all
вовремя
tied up with
объявился.
other gigs, so you've showed up at a good time. So a regular recon job's what I'm going to answer. You can go either way here, though.
Ага, смотри все
Yep.
вокруг Ультры на
Scout around
развязку.
Ultra Mall and
Особенно
interchange and
если
keep an
технику
ear out for
услышишь
running
или
vehicles.
найдешь.
Let me know about
мне всё
everything you
расскажешь.
find. And then I'm just going to leave that at that, and I'm going to say
Заходи
I've got to go. Okay, so if you go to character and go to the top here where my mouse is at, you got overall, gear, health, skills, map, and tasks. You're going to click on tasks. You also got achievements as well, but we ain't got none of those yet. So our main story is going to be called story. Our side quests are going to be side missions that are going to give us XP to rank our PMC up. That's going to rank up our character as far as level goes for traders and all that good stuff. Side quests are, in my opinion, they're still very, very important in the game. Actually, they're the main core of the game, in my opinion. The story is all for the fact of escaping from Tarkov eventually and learning what's actually going on in Tarkov. But the side missions, you don't want to avoid them because they're a decent chunk of XP. Like the first ones aren't, but later on you get some serious money for them. All right, then operationals, daily quest. The first daily missions that we'll unlock is going to be at level 5. It ain't going to take us long to get there. So this is actually going to wrap it up on the first part of the video. and then we're going to jump into the second part. And the first mission that we're actually going to do, we're going to unlock Skier first. And the way to unlock Skier is we need to survive and extract from interchange for Ragman, and that's going to unlock Skier. And then we're going to basically jump into the guides on each video for the parts of Ground Zero and so on and so forth. So anyway, this is the first part of a many-part episode thing and playthrough and guides. I'm going to be putting out a lot of good information here to help a lot of influx of new players, as 1.0 has really changed a lot of things in Tarkov, but the quests are not really needed, but I got a lot of time now and I want to put my guides out there and just get my stuff out onto YouTube. Anyway, guys, this is TJP950. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll see you guys next time. Peace.